Hey, it's Ashley from the Awakened State. I really wanted to spend some time talking about this eclipse energy because I think it's really important to understand the power of eclipses. Like they're very, very transformative. They will course correct you. They will completely eradicate like old stories. They will get you thinking about your past and how you can purge through your past. There is so much truth within eclipse energy. And that's why I thought I would create a special video about the upcoming eclipse energy and how we can start working with these energies. All right, so what is eclipse energy? What does that really mean? Well, we go through these periods where we call them, well, I call them personally, I call them an eclipse window or eclipse season. During each eclipse season, we're presented with the yin and the yang balance, where the lunar, which is all about the feminine, and the solar, which is all about the masculine current. Now, during each of these eclipses, we experience profound shifts in awareness. They get us out of our comfort zone. They basically will shake up your reality because they take off your biorhythms. You will completely get out of routine because they will shake you up. They will blatantly shake you up. And the reason for this is because these eclipses can be felt up to 6 months after they occur. 6 months after they occur. So what you experience in an eclipse window is the theme that you are going to be carrying forward for the next 6 months. And then the following eclipse season will be carrying that forward for the next 6 months. So the things that are radically creating shift in your life are backed by the eclipse. That is why I am so passionate about this subject, because not only are they really transformative, but they are the course correctors that really just turn our direction. You can completely reinvent yourself in an eclipse, basically. All right, so the lunar eclipse is all about the feminine current. In the feminine current, I mean your inner divine feminine. So we're going all right brain, we're going internal. You will be drawn more inward. We tend to get emotionally charged by this energy. And especially since this one is also a supermoon, we're going to feel that even more because we're backing it up with a supermoon and a blue moon. So that's a triple whammy of energy, basically. And as we go deeper into this, you can start to see how the feminine current is already affecting us because this wave builds and builds and builds, and it snowballs until the eclipse. Because the eclipse are usually known to start energetically shifting in the previous moon before the eclipse. So it started coming in on the new moon. And as it came in the new moon, you're starting to feel the snowball effect as it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. So in the feminine, we will be drawn inward, inward to question, inward to evaluate, do a bit of soul evaluation. And we also are usually drawn to our past. We're drawn to our past because right now we're at this course correction mode. We're ready to start going, okay, what is not working? What do I need to shift? Where do I need to let go? And how can I just completely transform from who I was then to who I am now? Like, what am I still holding on to? What needs to go, like now? That is the feminine current. It will flip you upside down because it's going to get you to go internal. It's going to get you emotional because it shows you what needs to shift. And is for when something needs to shift, it has to get into that flow of new energy. And a lot of people don't like change. So what happens here is you start to see this huge ball of resistance coming in because all the eclipse energy is bringing in tons of new energy. And our old self doesn't want to deal with it. It doesn't want to take it. So what happens is we have this push pull, push pull, push pull. And the more we do that, we start seeing that we are in this place of surrender. We have to evaluate what's coming through. We have to evaluate what we need to let go of. And the feminine current will really heighten this. And especially the lunar eclipse being a supermoon, I imagine we're going to feel this like a tenfold, because the eclipse energy normally is strong, but the fact that it's also in a supermoon is going to make this like really heavy. So I would really be, gentle to yourself during this process. Emotions will definitely be rampant and crazy probably. It's very possible to find yourself feeling a bit more off, so to speak, because you're going to be pushed out of your comfort zone. That's what an eclipse is most known for. It wants you to get out of that shell and into the unknown. And a lot of us aren't comfortable with the unknown. So the eclipse in the lunar eclipse will be really evaluating what needs to shift internally. And this is really interesting because you start to see that this is how the feminine masculine balance. So we have the feminine in the lunar, and then we have the solar eclipse, which is later in the month, or in the following month, because the solar eclipse is all masculine based. So all the internal digging you've been doing, basically you're going to start shifting that into the external world. So it's a bit like manifestation. Like you have an idea, you're nurturing it, you're giving it energy and momentum, and then now it's starting to birth into reality. And with all this Capricorn energy, we've really been feeling that earthiness. And the solar eclipse is going to completely like shift everything that we were internally digging up and then start bringing that into your reality. So this might mean a sudden life change might happen. Like, you might get a new job. You might have a new business adventure. You might get you might have a baby. You might find out you're pregnant. You might get a house. Maybe you move. Anything like that, anything that stirs the pot, basically. Like, it really just gets you to shake up all that loose energy from the past, and we start pushing everything forward. And that's why I call it a course corrector, because it will literally take what was the past and start reinventing yourself. And then you shed in the feminine, and then now you're starting to birth the new in the masculine. So the masculine is all about action. You will be like drawn to like a lot of external things. Like you might, start a new job application, or you might just have something where you feel like you need a new study, or you have to make an entire lifestyle switch. That is the epitome of what the masculine energy will bring. It's very action oriented. It gets us up and ready to go. It brings changes to our physical world instead of just the internal one. And this is where you start to see like the fruits of your labor, because we have the internal journey with the feminine, and then we have the external journey with the masculine. And that's why eclipse season is so powerful, because it brings in this beautiful marriage of energy where you have both worlds interlocking together. And this is what creates our transformation. Like we are like basically in this container. And as we are in this container, we're doing like all this internal like soul work. And then the eclipse, in the solar eclipse, it pushes us outward. So once you start pushing that energy outward, that's when it's usually like that rebirthing energy. So that's what makes an eclipse so powerful. It's an amazing transformation, amazing shifting. And I imagine since we have so many more aspects this time, it's going to be even more powerful than normal. So I definitely recommend that, you play it easy, listen to your body during these changes, and especially, honor the flow. Like, don't try to fight to do a bunch of things in the feminine current when you're drawn more inward, and don't fight to do more internal activities when you're in the masculine solar eclipse energy, because you'll start to notice the push and pull. And most of all, Evaluate where your resistance is coming up right now. Like, definitely question it because that new energy is trying to come on board. But in the process of that, we're pushing through so much baggage. So start asking, why is this showing up for me? What does this mean? Where did this come from my past? How can I move through it? And really get interconnected with your guides during this process because eclipse energy can be a lot to handle. So it's important to have that good support system. That way you can start utilizing more of, your internal world and just being more present with yourself, I feel is one of the best ways to get through eclipse energy. All right. This is Ashley with The Awakened State. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Namaste.